There's a moment that comes when you realise you're not leaving as soon as you thought you would. Not because you can't, and not because you failed, but because life hasn't lined up neatly with the original plan. And when that moment arrives, you're faced with a choice that most people don't talk about properly. Do you keep mentally half leaving every day, or do you commit to staying properly and redesign your life around that new reality? And that's the decision I've had to make recently. I've realised that my retirement is now likely to be closer to 2030 than 2026. And that will put me around 62 years old and not 58. And I'll be honest, my first reaction wasn't relief, it was resistance. Because delaying retirement feels like losing something, like time, freedom, and the idea that escape is close. But here's what did surprise me. The moment I stopped framing this as waiting longer and started framing it more as staying deliberately, something shifted. Because there's a big difference between enduring extra years and choosing how those years are lived. If you stay without committing, everything feels temporary. You don't improve things because it's not worth it. You tolerate friction because it'll be over soon. You delay decisions because we'll sort that after retirement. And the danger is you end up living in limbo for years. And for me, that showed up at home. Our house works on paper, but not in practice. It's open plan, it looks nice, but that doesn't suit how we actually live. Spaces that make daily life harder than it needs to be. Rooms that feel like compromises we've been telling ourselves we'll accept because retirement's coming. Except now, retirement isn't coming. Not as soon as I hoped, anyway. And suddenly the question becomes uncomfortable. Do we live slightly frustrated for another 4 or 5 years? Or do we make the house work for the life we're actually living now and plan to stay in? Now, that's less of a financial question and more of a quality of life question. And once I accepted that I was staying longer, pretending everything was temporary stopped making sense. And I think this is the part that many people miss. Committing to staying isn't giving up on retirement. It's removing unnecessary friction from the years before it. That might mean spending money. It might mean redesigning routines. It might mean changing your expectations. But it also brings something unexpected, mental relief. When you stop treating your life as a holding pattern, decisions do get clearer. You stop asking, is this optimal? And start asking, does this make the next 5 years easier to live with? And that question alone changes everything. It doesn't mean you stop caring about finances. It means finances stop being the only lens you use. Because if you're staying, then your energy matters, your environment matters, your stress level matter. And that's especially true if, like me, you're still working while you've got a child at school. You don't have full freedom anyway, so the goal shifts. Not escaping as early as possible, but arriving at retirement with fewer regrets about how those years before felt. I know some people will hear this and think it sounds like justification, and maybe it is a little, but it's also honesty. Staying without committing made me restless. Committing to staying has made me calmer, and that calm has value to me. Now, if you're in a similar position where retirement has moved further away than you hoped it had, I think this question is worth asking yourself. Are you still mentally leaving, or are you willing to design the life you're actually going to live for the next few years? Because those years count too.